Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram Ram,
Ram Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare.
So last week we started discussing reciprocation of love between devotee and God, right? Such a sweet pastime. Oh, I have it, bro. Sorry. No. Thank you, bro. Yeah. So it was such a nice reciprocation of love between a sincere devotee and God, right? How Krishna reciprocates. When we love somebody, we try to be the best of our version, right? We want to do something that will enhance the exchange of feelings between you and the beloved, right? And but most of the time, those kind of activities that we do in this material world don't last for too long. They are kind of genuine in the beginning, but sometime later, the true colors start coming out. True colors in the form of expectations, in the form of lusty desires, unfulfilled desires, or some kind of trying to be prominent in this world. You try to exploit your partner. It can happen because that is what is material world. So um, for people who are materialistic, this kind of loving exchange between God and devotee is very difficult to understand. Because here in this relationship, what we are discussing, Madhavendra Puri and Sripad Madhavendra Puri and Gopalji, right? And maybe today even Gopinathji will come. It's beautifully pure concern for each other and compassion for each other. Devotee's compassion on God, God's compassion on devotee. Okay? Devotee's concern on God and God's concern on devotee. Without any expectation. And sheerly not even to show others what is going on. Madhavendra Puri, his idea was not that tomorrow somebody is going to write this story and it will come in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Right? It's not like that. It was genuine love between devotee and God, and it was so beautiful that Swayam Bhagavan appeared again to tell this Leela. Right? Madhavendra Puri's own disciple, Ishwara Puri, explained this beautiful saga of love to his disciple, which is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is sitting and discussing this in Remuna. He goes to Remuna, like we discussed last week, on his way to Jagannath Puri. He stays there, he looks at Gopinathji, and then he calls Swayam Balaram, these two personalities on the altar. They are discussing the story. And Srila Prabhupada explains in a different verse in Bhagavatam that in order to discuss the glories of a devotee, the qualification is you should have discussed the glories of God. Reverse. Normally we think speaking the glories of God is very big. But speaking the glories of devotee is even advanced as compared to speaking the glories of God. It is Swayam conversation in Bhagavatam. You're not making this up. Last week we discussed that verse also. Now here is Madhavendra Puri. Today we'll try to continue and go. Maybe it might flow a little into next week also. The goal is till Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reaches, till he reaches Jagannath Puri. We are going to continue this saga. Right? So right now he is in Remuna, and next he will go to near Jagannath Puri, the famous temple of Sakshi Gopal, right? And then he will reach Jagannath Puri. So today we'll continue. So last week what we discussed is how Gopalji appeared in the dream of Madhavendra Puri and told that I am burning in so much of heat and cold, and please help me come out of this place where I'm kept. Some people kept me, my devotees kept me here and ran away when Muslims attacked, and now it's time for you to bring me out and give me a nice house. So Madhavendra Puri, so beautifully he went and told this to all the Brajvasis, and how the Vrajavasis reacted to it. How enthusiastically they came forward without any questions asked. The whole villages and villages they came and said, we are going to help. We are going to do this service because this is the greatest service that we got. Right? That shows the um, amount of love they carried for Madhavendra Puri. Looking at his acharan, a person who is going around, Govardhan, just chanting the holy names, sometimes laughing, sometimes crying, sometimes falling, sometimes rolling, sometimes expressing expressing things that you would not see in an ordinary person. And how Swayam Gopalji came in front of him like a small boy and told, you better take something, you better eat something, because this second kind of renunciation that he was following, that he will not even ask for prasad. He'll only eat when he's given prasad. And that's all, right? So Gopalji himself came and told, you have not eaten. Why are you not eating? No, I'm not feeling like eating. No, you cannot say that in this village. In this village, everybody has to eat. And by the way, how did you know that I was not eating? Well, some ladies in this village saw that you're going around and not eating anything. So they gave me some milk that I can give you. You eat. You take this milk. With the beautiful, a little bit of force, you can say. The loving force of a mother on a small child that you're not eating. The same way, there's a little force from Swayam Gopalji on Madhavendra Puri that you have this milk. Like a duty he gave. And then he said, you keep this pot with you, I'll come back and take it. And Madhavendra Puri had that milk and he was waiting for this boy. And the charm of that boy was so amazing that he could not forget the brief association he had with that boy. And that very boy came in his dream in the night and told, by the way, it's me only who came to you. I am sitting on this mountain. Please come and build a temple for me. Remove me from there and give me some food, give me some shower, like that. Like really clear demands he put in place. And Madhavendra Puri went to the villagers and said, let's do this. And the whole villagers came and they pulled the Gopalji Murti from the hill, and they created a small altar for him with stones behind, and then makeshift temple also they made so that he can also sleep in the night. And then the story goes on. I just went few verses back about how they did the Annakut ceremony, right? How they bathed with the water of Govindakund. They went, like, each Brahmin was carrying 9 pots of water, and they all brought it up and they showered him with so much water, so many gallons and gallons of water from Govindakund. And then, he was given Annakut. Preparations. Last week we discussed what all preparations, right? Panchagavya preparations, Panchamrit preparations, how they did the Abhishek, how many times they did the Abhishek, and what was the first thing that was offered to eat. And what was the second thing that was offered to eat. It was an unending Annakut, so to say. So we will try to continue from here. He namate Annakutha karila sajana. Puri Gosani Gopale re Kaila Samarpana. In this way, the Annakuta ceremony was performed, and Madhavendra Puri Goswami personally offered everything to Gopala. Hare Krishna. We all discussed these verses, but just trying to go a little back so that we get the context. What was the meter, Mataji? I kind of forgot a little.
Now, after listening to you,
Yeah, even I kind of, Jala, that should come here, correct. Aneka Khatabari Dila Suvashita Jala. Bahudine Rakshudhaya Gopala Kaila Sakala. Many water pots were filled with scented water for drinking, and Lord Shri Gopala, who had been hungry for many days, ate everything offered to him. Yadyapi Gopala Sabha Anna Vyanjana Khaila Tandrahasta Sparshe Puna Temani Haila. Although Sri Gopala ate everything offered, still, by the touch of his transcendental hand, everything remained as before. Right? We read the purport, so we'll go forward. Iha Anubhava Khaila Madhava Gosani Tanrathani Gopalera Lukhana Khichunai. How Gopala ate everything while the food remained the same was transcendently perceived by Madhavendra Puri Goswami. Nothing remains a secret to the devotee of the Lord. So a lot of us, they think that, what are you giving to God? Where is he eating? But Acharya can see that actually God is eating. Right? It's not like a ritual. Oh, we'll give something, let God eat. Maybe he's eating or no. Let me just keep it. No. And then, see, this is the faith that we want to gain. Before we leave this world, we should gain that faith that when I'm cooking something and I'm offering it, actually God is going to eat it. Actually, God is going to eat it. I'd like to share a small episode that happened just a couple of weeks ago. Shashank Prabhu was with me and we went there. Right? It's a beautiful saga of a Bengali family who were reading Chaitanya Charitamrita from 1800s. Right? And his son became a professor and he shifted to Hyderabad from Pakistan then. And they've been living in Hyderabad for more than 60 years maybe. Right? And his father's father, they all were reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. So they had Chaitanya Charitamrita and Bhagavatam in Bengali, which was the commentary of Sridhar Swami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, clearly written on it, printed in 1840 or something. And the papers were like, if you hold the paper, it is breaking. Literally, lift the paper, if you fold the book like that, it will just break. That was the situation. And they were holding these books, and this Mataji, her name is Dolly. I don't know how they kept that name, many years ago. She's 85 years plus. And she was trying to do something about this Chaitanya Charitamrita and Bhagavad. Entire, like 18 books of Bhagavad are there in Bengali, and close to 15-16 books of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And few other very old books. So they went to many temples. I mean, her husband, who was a professor in Usmania University, he tried to go and give the books to somebody because he was getting old. Now, understand that these books were being worshipped like deities for more than 150 to 200 years. Right? They were also being read, and after the main people who were reading left, the worship still continued. It is explained, she was telling me that Dolly Mataji, she was telling me, she was 85 years old, that my mother-in-law taught me how to worship these books as a continuation. And her mother-in-law used to cook 5-6 varieties minimum every day of bhoga and offer them to the books. Right? Every day. Can you have that kind of faith? Like you're making 5-6 varieties of bhoga every day and going and keep, not even in front of Archa Vigraha, in front of books. Right? And after her mother-in-law left, her husband was doing it and she was able to do a little. And then after that, her husband, he tried his best to give these books to some people who know its worth. They cannot put a value to Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavad, especially such a old scriptures, like 600 years old transcripts, and printed somehow and being maintained. They went to many temples. Nobody took them. They didn't understand the value of it. He tried. He also went to ISKCON temple. He went told, but maybe somebody in ISKCON temple might have heard but he may not have understood what to do with it. Where should I keep it? Maybe that was, or maybe they didn't even understand. Maybe the way he told was not clear enough. If you go and tell, I have a Bhagavad, can you take it? Yeah, I already have so many in stock. Right? Why do I want one more? You don't know what exactly happened. And the husband tried to give it somewhere. He waited and waited, and one day he left his body. He became too old and he left his body. Now the wife has been trying to do something about it, and she became 85 years old and she's worried. And in her old age also, every day she would take one tulasi leaf, apply some chandan on it and keep it on the books as an offering. Right? Because I can't cook for you now, Krishna, I can't cook for you too many things. Maybe once in a week I'll cook. But every day I'll keep one leaf of tulasi and chandan. When we went, even the leaf was still there. That day she offered. And one day, she told her daughter that I'm going to leave my body now. I cannot leave these books like this. That's why I'm Krishna. I cannot leave them like that. I have to do something about it. And your father could not do anything. You are not able to do anything. We are approaching people. Nobody is understanding. So let's do a thing. We will leave these books in Godavari. Because that's the only way we can offer it back. Mother Godavari is very close by from here. Let's do it. They booked the train ticket also. They booked the train ticket. Books were all ready, right, to be left in Godavari. At that time, they got a small back-to-corded magazine. Somehow her granddaughter got a back-to-corded magazine, and behind that magazine there is a phone number. And her daughter called that phone number, and somebody in Mumbai picked it up and said, this is what we have. Okay, why don't you call somebody in Kolkata? Now, this Balram Lila Prabhu is part of this Bhaktivedanta Research Institute, BRC. And that's what they're doing. They're trying to, preserve the old transcripts, full sets from wherever they can get. Right? Even the scriptures, leaves written by Rupa Goswami, to the books that were printed, and maintained in those days. He got to know. Somehow, finally, Krishna made that news go till Balram Lila Prabhu. And then Balram Lila Prabhu called me. He said, Prabhu, here are the books. Can you go and see what is there? We don't know what's in there. But looks like they are really desperate to give us. And we should go and do something about it. I called Shashank Prabhu. I said, Prabhu, can you come? Let's go. And Prabhuji came with me one of the weekday evenings. It was a Tuesday evening. It was raining like anything that day. Pouring in that Twin City. It took us 2 hours, 25 minutes to reach Vidyanagar. Where is Vidyanagar, right? That's where they live. Yeah, in a very inner road. I never went in that road. I lived in Vidyanagar in the past. Never knew that gully exists also. So we went inside, and in a lane there is an old house, and in that house there is Krishna, right, waiting. And then I went inside, and Balram Lila Prabhu told, make a good video, Prabhu. I want a good video. Let's try to make a documentary out of it, because they tried to throw it in, they tried to leave it in Godavari, and now we are going and taking it. So Prabhuji made some nice clips. Maybe it will get released soon. They are editing it. So I went inside, and the old lady, she was crying. She was crying in happiness that my desire was this book should be used for research. And you are coming from a research institute, Bhaktivedanta Research Institute. How happy I am, right? And that day, her daughter told that for sure they are coming to take, right? So she made halwa for the books, for Krishna. Special halwa she made. And she offered it and was waiting. Then I went and took a small interview. So what happened, what all you went through, etc., etc. Maybe when it gets released, you can see. But the amount of love she carried, and the way she was, you can see in her eyes. At one point, she just broke apart. She started crying. That today my house, Krishna is leaving my house. When I'm holding that books, 2 boxes, Krishna is leaving my house. Tomorrow, my house will be empty. There's nothing, there's nothing there in my house anymore. But what can I do, Krishna? I have to give you somewhere before I die. And she told, now I will die very peacefully. I'm ready to die. Because the books are in my hands. And I was holding the books, and the books are so old and it's so delicate. Even to lift the box, I was like, my hands were shivering. What can happen? And it was raining outside, right? And we both kept the box in the boxes. And I told Balaram Lila Prabhu, we are not couriering it. We are not doing. A person is going to take this. We can't trust anything because it's the worshipable deities of this old lady. Her life and soul. For me, it is just like a book, but for her, it is her life. Right? She has given good, easily. She got married, maybe 15, 16 years old. 70 years she is serving those books. 70 years, every single day. Her husband is to read, and when I opened it, there are underlines in so many pages. So many discussions that might have happened. Right? And it's so much loving affection. She was offering bhoga every single day, and after 85 years of her life, the next day morning, she will not have those books in the house. It's so inconceivable for us to even imagine. But for her, it was like end of life. I wouldn't be surprised if I hear that she is going to leave her body soon also, because it almost felt like she has done with her duty. Right? And last, which day? Thursday, I think. So Balaram Lila Prabhu sent one Prabhu from Kolkata. He came, and we somehow managed to keep the books so it not get damaged, slowly in a suitcase, so that it can go like a trolley bag. And day before yesterday, they left to Kolkata. So the Prabhu came and he looked at the books, and on the last day, when we offered some chandan, my wife made some bhoga, just to our little offering to those books. I wanted to bring them here actually, but it is so dangerous to carry them everywhere. It's not something to show. It is something that you see. And so all those books are going to be, electronically scanned and preserved. And there is some liquid, some kind of chemical from Japan. They're going to use it so that the paper remains for another 200-300 years, just by applying it. Something they have. Yeah. So it's a whole set. And literally, Prabhu, if you lift the paper, top, it will break and come in your hand. It went to that state. Like papad, like really thin papad, that too. It's not even, if you hold the paper like this and do, it will become like sand, like a powder. That state they are. Why am I saying this is, did the books reciprocate? They did. How in the world will the news of these books, after so much trying, go to the place, and from there it comes here and we go and do the little service of taking it, and again it's going to the place. Krishna is reciprocating, Prabhu. Every little desire we have to serve him, he will fulfill it. That is the beauty of devotional service, that anything we want to do, Krishna will make it happen. He will make it happen. We don't have to worry about whether it will happen or not. So for a devotee, the most important thing is the enthusiasm to serve. And Prabhupada said, enthusiasm is the life of a devotee. The day you lose enthusiasm, the day you become complacent, that I have done enough, I think we'll continue like this, your spiritual life is over. And look at the acharyas. Even in the oldest of the age, all the acharyas in our sampradaya, their enthusiasm only grew with age. It did not go down. Right? And we are seeing with example, here is Madhavendra Puri, whose enthusiasm is just growing and growing in this Lila. After Gopalji, see what happens next. Right? It just grows and grows and grows. How can I serve? How can I do more? How can I please God? What more can I do? Like that. So here, I went from here to that Mathaji because in this verse it is told, how Gopalji ate everything while the food remained the same was transcendently perceived by Madhavendra Puri Goswami. Nothing remains a secret to a devotee of the Lord. In the same way, how the books were honoring Prasad, how can we understand? We cannot understand. But they were actually honoring Prasad for such a long time. And then when I told this to Balramji, Balram Lila Prabhu was like, Prabhu, what should we do after bringing the books here? We also have to offer every day. Because that's Krishna. Everything related to Krishna is transcendental. And it's beyond time and space. Right? And Krishna is watching every single move of his devotee. Very sacred. Huh? Yeah, I also felt so. Even witnessing such a great devotee, she's still in. I told her, if you can come once to our center, it will be nice. She told, yeah, I will one day. So maybe for one of the big festivals, I'll bring her. Yeah, Dolly Mataji, I'll bring her. She's very old, but very sweet lady. Of course, Krishna's devotees are sweet, isn't it? Rupa Madhurya, Lila Madhurya, Venu Madhurya, Bhakta Madhurya. Even his devotees are very sweet. That is the speciality. Yeah. 79. Eka dinera udyoge aiche mahotsava khaila. Gopala prabhave haya ayena janila. The wonderful festival and installation of Shri Gopalji was arranged in one day. Certainly, all this was accomplished by the potency of Gopala. No one but a devotee can understand this. Now, who is arranging any festival? Huh? Of course, we are doing something. It's not like we are not doing anything. But who is giving us the enthusiasm to do it? Who is giving us the idea to do it? Krishna. Krishna in the heart. The difference between a devotee and non-devotee is devotee implements it, non-devotee ignores it. Right? Non-devotee also gets the opportunity to celebrate festivals, but he ignores it. Hey, enduk inta avasarama? Itna chahiye kya? Itna karna ka zarurat hai kya? They leave it like that. But a devotee, for him, one thought is life and soul. Oh, there is another new way to do something for Krishna. You see, when you read Bhagavatam, especially the creation section in Bhagavatam, many people get bored. Third canto, second canto, this is how the creation started, Mahat Tattva, Pradhana, and then this and that, and 26 elements coming out, and then one became one, from his backside something came, from his knees something came. Acha nahi lag raha hai itna. Chalo, let's keep going forward. And that is why Srila Prabhupada told, always remember Krishna as Shama Sundara. You might be asking, what is that relation here? Prabhupada saying, always remember Krishna as Shama Sundara. Right? Now, Shama Sundar Krishna is that 7-8-year-old boy standing on the bank of Yamuna with his legs crossed, holding a flute and sweetly singing. Right? So that is Radha Sham Sundar. Especially in Vrindavan. When you remember that Krishna and you read about creation, you will be amazed. Oh, that little Krishna did this creation. See the Prabhupada's heart. How is he trying to make us get attracted to even a chapter like creation in bhakti? And here you should understand that, say, example, a mother. Today, actually, when I was going to Raju Prabhu's house, I told my younger son, you drive the vehicle. He got his new license. He got his bike also now. I bought a bike. So both my sons sat on the bike and my mother was sitting beside me. I said, you drive, I will see how you are driving. So he was driving in the front. My hands were shaking. This fellow, how is he driving? That fellow is coolly driving. Big deal. And my elder son is sitting behind. My younger son is driving, holding a helmet. We got license also, by the way. But heart is, pounding. What is going to happen? But at moments, when he is overtaking somebody, hey, dekh, mera beta is overtaking. Isn't it? My son is overtaking now. He's grown up so much that he's overtaking. And my mother was crying beside me. Oh, my husband would have been there. He would have been so happy to see this. Tata. If you would have been there, you would have been so happy to see this. And I was looking at her. The whole incident, the whole little thing, we see so many people driving on the road. We don't feel like that. But their mothers and fathers feel that way. Right? And for a mother, a child is always a child. No matter how much he grows, whenever he does anything extraordinary or little thing, mother is always like, "Amma, na koduku chesindu." My son. Right? Even at the age of 60, if you become a vice president of a company, mother who is 85 will go and tell the neighbor, "My son is vice president. I used to feed him. I used to think is the same my son." You find everything special in life when you are attracted to that particular person in a very pure state. Right? Everything that person does becomes relishable. That is why Bhagavatam, without understanding, without falling in love with Krishna, if you read Bhagavad, it's boring actually. And that is why it's Amala Puran and Paramahamsa Samhita. When you're done with all the scriptures, Vyasdev kept it everything aside and wrote Bhagavatam. Means it is for whom? It is for Paramahamsas. And many of us, I'm sure we're not Paramahamsas, right? Parama Murkhas, I can tell. Hansa, I don't know. But look at the grace of Prabhupada. He gave Paramahamsa Samhita in the hands of Parama Murkhas. So now you start chanting the holy names and start reading Bhagavad. Right? So Acharyas explain that you should always remember Krishna in the form of Shyam Sundar. And then you get that feeling that whatever Krishna does, it becomes very special. Otherwise, if you remember Krishna in the Virata Rupa or in the Rupa, in the Vamana Deva or, like that, you don't feel that, the speciality, the sweetness of Krishna, of whatever he does, comes when you remember him as little Krishna, Shyam Sundar. Do you all follow what I say?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So, in that state of mind, when you celebrate festivals for him, and you see Krishna has done some Leela and you are describing that Leela to everybody. Today we are discussing Jagannath Leela, right? Just few hours ago in Raju Prabhu's house, there was Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra welcoming. And I was trying to repeat the story of Jagannath, how he appeared and made everybody happy. But you remember that Jagannath is Jagat Ka Nath, but he is also that little boy standing on the bank of Yamuna holding a flute and calling all the cows and friends to play, right? So that remembrance makes everything special. So here, it's being told the festival is actually organized by Gopalji. We should remember that, Gopalji can also organize festival like that. My little Krishna is organizing festivals also. My little Krishna is lifting Govardhan also. What was the amazing part of Yashoda Maya under Govardhan? She was in so much anxiety. Hey, my little boy, he is holding Govardhan on a tip of finger. Is he holding properly or no? Hey, Subal, you also keep your stick. And he is like, I already care. What do you think? We are already holding. You think your son is holding the Govardhan? We are holding the Govardhan. The whole sweetness of Govardhan Leela comes when you look at Krishna not as Sarva Karana Karana. And that is the beauty of Vrindavan, right? In Vrindavan, he is not God. In Vrindavan, he is one among the Brajavasis. But he is so beautiful that everybody gets attracted to him. So, any festival that we are doing, Provision Matajis, remember that we are trying to get access, trying to get attracted to that Shyam Sundar Krishna. Right? And next week, on Saturday, we are doing a festival, boat festival, Nauka Vihar festival. Pawan Prabhu is here, it's his idea. Haribol. Yeah. Beautiful Nauka Vihar festival. And you should try to understand how much happiness will we give to Krishna when we do this Nauka Vihar festival. Right? Radharani and her friends, they are taking butter and ghee and going to Kamsa to pay the taxes. They have to pay the taxes from Nandagaon, right? And Krishna doesn't like that going there, of course. He wants to give some tension to Kamsa also. So Krishna, so they have to cross Yamuna. They have to cross Yamuna to go that side so that they can go to Mathura. And Krishna decides, okay, I'm going to stop this matter. I'm going to do something about it. So he becomes a boatman. He disguises himself as a boatman. And he sits in that boat. And he's like, okay, bring what you want to bring. Radharani and all the gopis, they prepare all this. It's very difficult to prepare butter. They keep it all. And they go to the boat and they look at this boatman. Okay, can you take us? Yeah, of course, I'm waiting for you. Please sit down. I'll take you the other side. And as the boat starts going, with a simple thought, Krishna creates waves. Whole waves are going up. Yamuna mein waves. And gopis are, hey, what is this? The boat is going up and down, and that huge wave and going up and down, and this Krishna in the disguise of a boatman is like, you people, I don't know what you are bringing, because of that the waves are going up and down. What are we bringing? We are bringing butter and ghee. I think that is the problem. You are bringing too much. And the waves are so high, it will drown. Our ship will drown because of your things that you are bringing. Oh, we have to take it to Mathura. It's our tax that we have to pay to Kamsa. Forget about your tax. If you take it like this, we all will die here. I think you should throw all these things in Yamuna. Krishna's plan. And gopis are like, how can we throw this? We made it. You throw or you will die. And gopis started, getting tense. Hey, throw. They started throwing pot by pot into Yamuna. Nicely prepared ghee and, butter. And Krishna is like, yes, I did it. Kamsa, you don't have anything today. Like that. And then gopis are looking at anxieties of gopis. And Krishna goes one more step. Like, okay, you are in anxiety, I'll give you more anxiety. Even after throwing everything, still the boat is going up and down. Gopis are like, what is this? You asked us to throw. Still, the waves are like that. We are also going to drown. What is this, Krishna? And Krishna says, I think you are wearing too much jewelry when you are going. Throw your jewelry also. This jewelry, if this is causing problem, this will drown the boat. What do you think? It's your wish. Boat is going to drown. See, look at the waves, they are going up and down. They start removing one jewelry and they start throwing bangles, into the Yamuna. And at that time, Radharani gets it out. This fellow is acting too smart. Who is this fellow? And they look at, that is Krishna. Right? She catches, Krishna, you made us throw our hard-made, like our handmade, with so much effort we made the ghee and the butter, and you also made us throw the jewelry. Krishna is like, oh, you recognize me? And then the whole, Leela of Radha and Krishna and the gopis and Nauka Vihar Leela happens, right? And many more stories to this. But how beautiful it is that we are trying to repeat that Leela in 2025 in our little satsang, in a nice place, right? It's a nice, little koneru. I don't know what you tell that in English. Huh? Pond. You can like a pond, kind of pond. Lake is nature made. Pond is, Pond also can be nature made, but I don't know. But it's beautiful, in front of Lord Shiva's temple. I went last week, Prabhuji showed me. It's pretty big. It's, I think, 6-7 times the size of this hall. That's how big it is, right? Or maybe even more. And at least 500 people can sit on the steps, till the 4th step itself. You're going to fill that with 3.5 feet of water. Put all flower petals on it. And in the evening, we are going to take Radha and Krishna in that boat around and we'll do kirtans. And do a little bit of katha also. Roger Mataji, this is spiritual world's experience. Experiencing that Leela in the Goloka Vrindavan here in this Bholoka. Right? And it's a great opportunity for everyone. We did this a little in a small way in Lovesh Prabhu's house on the terrace, right? In a small boat for a little bit of time because it was really, really difficult to keep the deities. But this time Prabhuji has organized one proper boat in which a person also can sit, right? And the Leela will be done in such a nice way, for the pleasure of Krishna. Like what would anybody like to do when you're in a boat? You like to eat some snacks, drink some juice, chit chat, right? Have a nice laughing jokes with each other, and then go around and see the place like this, right? That's exactly what Radha Krishna are going to do. So the boat will be going on. We all will make nice snacks. They'll make one trip, come back and take more snacks. They'll make another trip, come back and take more snacks, right? So this whole thing we are going to enact. For sometimes some Prabhujis will go and take the nauka. If Matajis get ecstatic, some of them also will go and then take the nauka. If children become ecstatic, even they can go, provided it is safe and everything. So all this we are doing. And who is doing? Krishna is doing. Krishna is doing. Exactly like this verse says. Right? The wonderful festival and installation of Shri Gopalji was arranged in one day. Certainly, all this was accomplished by the potency of Gopala. Right? No one but a devotee can understand this. When we are doing this kind of festivals, it's not me doing it. It is Krishna only doing it. Why is Krishna doing it? To attract us back. To take us out of this world in which we are so entangled. Right? We want to go on a vacation and do Nauka Vihar for ourselves. But will we ever enjoy that Nauka Vihar? No, we'll get frustrated. We'll fight on that boat, come out and go in two directions. Because we cannot be satisfied with our false egos. I want to be the center of the world. Doesn't work like that. Even if you want to go on a vacation and enjoy, you cannot enjoy that vacation. You cannot. Prabhuji went, what is it? Ladakh. Ladakh, he went to enjoy in Ladakh. He went on top of Ladakh, he got so much headache that he was desperate to come back to Gachibowli. Enough is enough, I don't yeah, sickness you get after you go on certain heights, some people. So, this in the material world, you want to enjoy vacation, you go on the vacation, you are so much in anxiety to enjoy in the vacation that you will end up not enjoying in the vacation, and you are in more anxiety that the vacation is getting over. Right? And even before the vacation is over, you already feel that the vacation is getting over. And then you come back here more frustrated that I spent so much money, I didn't enjoy anything. But if you all come to Saturday Nauka Vihar festival, you are going to enjoy before going to the festival, during the festival, and after the festival. Right? You will enjoy. Did I do enough marketing? So please, tell your relatives you are not important to us. Tell your friends, I hate you. Tell your neighbors, you don't exist. Come to the Nauka festival. Bring your gross bodies to the Nauka festival, and your subtle bodies also will be happy. Just come there. Don't keep any other program. This is happening. We are doing it for the pleasure of Krishna, and Krishna is using us to do this festival. And there are beautiful offerings that you can do to Krishna. For whatever Lakshmi Devi gave to you, you can give some part of it in the service of this festival. Prabhuji has sent a whole list, right? Flowers you can sponsor. You can sponsor the boat related decoration. You can sponsor some, so many items he has written. Prasad and, electricity poles that we are going to keep, 5, 10, 10,000, whatever you can. If somebody gets most ecstatic, you can sponsor everything. Right? If you sponsor everything, you're pakka going to Goloka. Because Krishna is like, okay, this fellow can do this Nauka Vihar for me single-handedly. Why don't you come and do it in Goloka? You're qualified, right? But more than money, please come and please bring with enthusiasm your friends, your relatives, and show them how beautiful spiritual life is. Right? How beautiful it can be. And how we can experience the presence of Krishna while we do this festival. Right? Are you all excited? Saturday evening, 5:30, the boat starts. The boat starts. Rain or shine. If it rains, even more ecstatic. You know what? I was with Prabhuji and listen. So I told Prabhuji I want to see the place once before the festival because last minute surprises we don't want. So I went and Srinath Prabhu also came. Yeah, Srinath Prabhu from his congregation also came. And we three were standing and Prabhuji was like, Prabhuji, I think we'll do this much. I said, no, not by this much, that much. Everything was becoming more and more. And they were like, it would have wouldn't die if this fellow would not have come. So I'm like, why don't we do this? Prabhu, cooking for 300. Why 300? 600. Why this? Why that? Why this? Why that? Why this? Why that? This is going up and Prabhu, this is the budget. What budget? There is no budget. Shri Gopal Prabhu is there. No budget. Right. So Prabhu, if he calls, please do the needful. So we're discussing all that, and in between all that, I don't know, Krishna only makes us talk, right? So crazily, I said, if it rains, the festival will be double-edged. And I told, Prabhu, as soon as I told that, it was sunny till then. We were standing under a tree. There is a small tree beside the Koneru. Suddenly it started, the sound started coming. 10 minutes started pouring. Baapre, Prabhu, Krishna is arranging this festival. We are going to have a classic time that day, whatever is going to happen. And it poured like anything. Almost half an hour it rained. Huh? You stayed back there?
I stayed back and
You planned more, okay. Hare Krishna. So, how beautiful our life is when we are busy arranging these festivals, right? Arranging Rath Yatras, arranging Janmashtamis, arranging Nauka Vihar festival. Now, Nauka Vihar festival is one of its kind, for the first time in a big way being planned by Gachibowli Satsang. Our whole group, our family is planning this. And it will continue year on year. This one festival, we all will wait to do something. Now, this is the first time we are doing. So, a lot of things, will be a little up and down, lessons learned. But next time it will become even more ecstatic. Right? And we can make it more and more personal. Small children can make small boats with little Radha Krishna sticker on it and leave it in the water. They are going around so many things you can think of. You can go crazy, right? But I'm very, very grateful. 3 Haribols to Pawan Prabhu. Haribol!
Haribol!
Yeah, in this busy time, so much demand from his family side also. Still is taking time out to do something for the pleasure of Krishna, and it will give pleasure to all of us, right? So let's do it and understand, like it's being told here, that devotee can understand this, that everything is being accomplished by the potency of Gopala Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we read this purport also last week. Achamana diya dila vidaka sanchaya. Arati karila loke kare jaya jaya. Madhavendra Puri offered water to Gopala for washing his mouth, and he gave him betel nuts to chew. Then, while Aarti was performed, all the people chanted, Jai, Jai, all glories to Gopala, Haribo. Saya karaila nutana khata anana. Nava vastra anitara upare patiya. Arranging for the Lord's rest, Śrī Mādhavendra Purī brought a new cot, and over this he spread a new bedspread, and thus made the bed ready. Right. So the first day installation is done, Bhoga is done. Now God has to be put to rest. Trina tati diya chari dik avarila. Upare te eka tati diya achadila. A temporary temple was constructed by covering the bed all around with a straw mattress. Thus, there was a bed and a straw mattress to cover it. Comfort is also important, no? Right? So Madhavendra Puri made sure in a single day. Remember this. This festival was not planned for weeks and days. Earlier night, he got a dream, and next day is implementing all this. Right? Everything is happening spontaneously. Puri Gosani Agnya Dila Sakala Brahmane. Abala Vridha Gramera Loka Karaha Bhojane. After the Lord was laid down to rest on the bed, Madhavendra Puri gathered all the Brahmanas who had prepared the prasadam and said to them, "Now feed everyone sumptuously, from the children on up to the aged." Right? So this is the mood of an acharya. When God has had his bhoga, he's happy, he has to make sure all the devotees are happy. Right? Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasado Swadvarna Triptam Haribhakta Sangam Kritvaiva Triptim Bhajatai Sataiva Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vrindam. Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasado. 4 kinds of things have to be fed. To God also, to devotees also. Something that you can eat, something that you can chew, something that you can suck, something that you can drink. Lick. Yeah. All these things are made and they are offered. It's explained that once His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he took a lot of his disciples to Vrindavan. And at that time, Puri Goswami Maharaj was there, the god brother of Srila Prabhupada, in his temple in Vrindavan. And Maharaj, Radhanath Maharaj took his disciples and they went to this temple in Vrindavan where Puri Goswami Maharaj was still there. And Maharaj was so happy. "Oh, you got devotees. Krishna's devotees have come here. Please bring them inside." It was afternoon time. Afternoon time, deities are put to sleep. Right? So just before they are put to sleep for afternoon nap, all the devotees entered inside. And Maharaj immediately said, make prasad, all devotees have come, make prasad," like that. And it's explained that they made quickly, nice prasad they made. And it was offered, and then they were closing the curtains. And Puri Maharaj said, "Why are you closing the curtains? Krishna wants to see his devotees eat. Open the curtains." Yeah, this is very unusual. Normally you would always close curtains, like in our Sampradaya, Brahma Madhya God Sampradaya, when devotees are eating, the curtains are closed. But here, a Goswami goes one more level, where now he is hearing from Krishna what he wants to see. Right? So you cannot question a Goswami, especially pure devotees, their activities. Narada Pancharatra Vidhi and everything is important, should be performed, is the code of conduct, but a Goswami can go one more level. Right? Like once Prabhupada was sitting in the hall and somebody brought guests, and the guest said, "We have to go." Prabhupada said, "Go get prasad for them." And that servant was telling, "Prabhupada, they are offering. Still. Ask them to offer quickly. Ask them to offer quickly." And like, "Prabhupada, yeah, they are making it and it will not take any time. Ask them to just show and bring it." And like, "Prabhupada, it will take." Prabhupada got up, went inside, got the prasad and gave it to the guests. "Please take it." Now you can say, "Prabhupada, you only told that I should at least chant 2 Gayatris before I remove the prasad." Right? That is 1 Gayatri and some more mantras, there is a whole bhajan. Prabhupada can break the rule. Right? Because Prabhupada knows what is the rule, and the rule is to please Krishna. Right? A Saragrahi. Saragrahi means the one who sees the essence of what you're doing and why you're doing. Right? We sometimes become very ritualistic in little things. But a Saragrahi sees the purpose of why it is being done. Like once Prabhupada is going with his disciples in a train, and the train got delayed. At that time there was no Nilesh Prabhu, so you can't get prasad anywhere you want. Right? You can't get, and the train was delayed for a long time. 10, 12 hours it was delayed. And devotees did not have any prasad. Prabhupada is getting worried. And one person was selling samosa. Right? Prabhupada said, "Okay, take that samosa, offer it and have it." Like that. And these days onion garlic we put in ice cream also. But those days it was not like that. It was pretty sattvic people. So, they took that. And then Prabhupada said, "Offer it." And Prabhupada was sitting there. There was no Radha Krishna picture there. They opened, but they had Prabhupada's picture. So Prabhupada is sitting there and Prabhupada said, "Have it." And they kept Prabhupada's picture there and started offering to the picture. And all of them closed their eyes. "Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nithin." They opened the rice. Prabhupada is already eating. They're like, "Prabhupada, you're already eating." I am sitting here, why are you offering the photo? And I have told you eat. So sometimes it becomes so ritualistic, why are you doing what are you doing? So when you can't enact it, understand, you can't repeat these leelas in your own version. But these are instructive in the sense that you should see the essence behind it. Why are you doing what are you doing? What is the purpose of doing all these things? Right? Like you arrange a big festival and three devotees punch each other. So you didn't do this, you didn't do that. I don't want to see your face. Krishna is like, why did you do the festival? The festival was to bring all of you close to each other. Right? But you landed up having more fights because of festival. So if festival is bringing fights, we don't want that festival. Real festival is when devotees love each other. When devotees come close to each other. When they see that family, Krishna's family, Vasudeva Kutumbakam means that. Right? It's not, recently I was hearing from a very senior devotee. Who was it? Huh? Yeah, Hare Krishna. So this devotee was saying in a lecture, he was saying, it is not important what you say to a devotee, it's more important what you feel for the devotee. Okay? It's not how sweetly, Mataji, Dandot, Pranam. Inside you are thinking all nonsense, and outside you are, you are like paying obeisances and, thinking like that. Once, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was sharing a lila where two brahmacharis were in fight with each other. They were literally inimical to each other at that point. We can't see each other's face. That level. Right? And Maharaj got to know about it. These two brahmacharis are really done with each other. So Maharaj is going through this brahmachari ashram, and these two brahmacharis, they looked at Maharaj, immediately they paid obeisances. That's part of the ticket. And both of them started chanting, Mancha kalpatarubhasya kripasantobhyo chapatitanam pavanam. And Maharaj picked up, you stand up. What mantra you chanted? He said, Maharaj, Vancha kalpa. I felt it is Pancha kalpa. Want to punch kalpa each other. Maharaj, why are you speaking like that? Maharaj just laughed and went. Then they understood, Maharaj already got to know about her. So Maharaj is saying that what is the point in offering respect when it's not coming from the heart? Actually, sometimes we forget that this is not a social circle. This is a circle around Krishna. Right? This is not a socializing place. This is not a place where, we compare each other. Oh, she gave that gift to me. I have to give that gift back to her. Her birthday was celebrated like this. My birthday is celebrated like this. No, this is not a social circle. This is satsang. Satsang is a place where we are coming here to give, not to take. Actually, you should imprint a board there, somewhere, everywhere in the hall. This is a place to give, not to take. Because the problem comes when you start expecting to take. I want this. I am not being honored. I am not being told. I am this. And you bring that to satsang here. And you become so disappointed. Even when devotees are around you, you become frustrated and you start pointing fingers on devotees also. Where will it take you? What is the hope? There is no hope. Our only hope is to become Krishna conscious in assembly of devotees. And be ready to take corrections also. We'll go forward. There are many more instructions we'll read about Madhavendra Puri. And we'll learn from Sripad Madhavendra Puri. Hare Krishna. Sabevasi krame krame bhojana karila. Brahmana brahmani gane aage khao yaila. All the people gathered there sat down to honor the prasadam, and by they took food. All the brahmanas and their wives were fed first. Now this is the etiquette. Prabhupada writes Aparpat, here rule. So Prabhupada is saying in the Varnashrama system, brahmanas are always honored first. Even now, thankfully, the culture is still continuing. Prabhupada is saying that when any event happens in the house, actually we should not eat until the brahmanas finish eating. That is etiquette. I'm also learning this now. My father's Shraddh ceremony happens. Brahmanas come. Minimum 3 Brahmanas come. They do the whole ceremony, wash their feet, and after that, they have to finish eating. And when they're eating, nobody should see that. Whole family, only one person should serve. They should peacefully, nicely honor prasad, and they will bless. There are mantras they chant that yes, we are satisfied. And then you start giving prasad to everybody else. And in that everybody else also, first elders and children, Matajis, then Prabhus, then go out and shout that anybody hungry, and then you eat. And that is the etiquette of a grahastha, right? Anyway, we'll try to implement it as much as we can. But the goal here is to give, not to take. Right? Same principle continues. Anya gramera loka yata dekhite aila. Gopala dekhiya sabha prasada khaila. Those who took prasadam included not only the people of Govardhan village but also those who came from other villages. They also saw the deity of Gopala and were offered prasadam to eat. Right? Oh, our group did it. Why are you here? No, our satsang people first, then next. No, prasad is for everybody. Right? Anybody who comes should give prasad. Actually, we should never differentiate. Prabhupada told this. There is a clear instruction of Prabhupada. Don't differentiate what prasad you are giving to whom in the temple. Everybody should get something of what you made. A lot of times people do that mistake. Oh, special prasad for these many number of people, normal prasad for outside people, this prasad for that people. Managerially, sometimes you may land up doing it, but that's not a good etiquette. That's not a good. So will Krishna like it? Huh? Like, some organizers are there, sponsors are there, Prabhu, all 16 course meal for them in that room. Huh? And somebody sees all that and then you say, no, aapke liye wo bahar khichdi hai, jao khao. For Krishna, is there a difference between this devotee and that devotee? There's no difference. Of course, you should honor people, important people, by giving them something special, but not in front of everybody. Or not at the same time. It can be done in a different way. But that etiquette is very, very important. Right? I am keeping this separate for a certain number of people. Don't do that in front of others. That's not the right etiquette. Everybody should have the sum of everything. That's what Prabhupada told. Everybody should get something of everything. Yeah. When time permits, I'll show you that. Prabhupada actually writes it very clearly. This is how it should be. Yeah. 86. Dekhiya purira prabhava loke chamatkara. Purva anna kutayene haila sakshatkara. Seeing the influence of Madhavendra Puri, all the people gathered there were struck with wonder. They saw that the Annakuta ceremony, which had been performed before during the time of Krishna, was now taking place again by the mercy of Śrī Mādhavendra Purī. Right? So 500, 600 years ago, I think it was more than 600 years ago, when this Leela happened in Govardhan, and the original Leela of Annakuta happened more than 5,000 years ago. So the Vrajavasis felt what happened then, they are experiencing now by the mercy of Sripad Madhavendra Puri. And what happened then, 600 years ago, we are experiencing now by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Right? That is called mercy of Srila Prabhupada. That he has given us everything. He has given us everything that we need. Huh? Today morning, I was telling a small story of a magician and Prabhupada. Some of you are not there, so I'll just repeat it. If people have already heard, it's okay. But so this magician, some devotee brought a magician in front of Prabhupada. And the magician was doing some magics. And Prabhupada was looking at that magic, what is happening. And some devotees felt, why are we bringing a wasting Prabhupada's time? Bringing a magician. Some devotees are like, Prabhupada is happy. And Prabhupada actually so happily, eagerly looking at the magic. Right? Like a small child. You seen a small child, how like even we did magic in front of our children. Like take this coin, top. Where is the coin? Here. No, see here. Nana, how did you do it? Like you feel, I am like Sherlock Holmes, and something. I don't know. So, the excitement that you see in the face, Prabhupada's face was excited like that. Like the magician was throwing a yellow ball, it falls like blue ball. He throws a blue ball, it falls like red ball. Something like that he was doing. And Prabhupada was looking at the ball and the person and like, very nice. And at the end of it, Prabhupada told, in my childhood, in the school days, I used to be eager to see magic. I am so happy I am seeing the same magic here. The magician was like, oh my God, this is a great worldwide acharya and I am doing this in front of him. He said, Prabhupada, he became very humble looking at Prabhupada's disposition. He said, Prabhupada, you are a great acharya. You are a great magician than me. Prabhupada said, what? I don't know any magic. He said, no, Prabhupada. The magic you are doing, I cannot do. When I do a magic, I take somebody's watch, make it disappear. But again, I have to give back that watch. If I don't give back that watch, he'll beat me. Again. That's what a magician can do. He can make disappear, but he has to bring it back again. But Prabhupada, you are such a great magician. You take everybody's karma and it never comes back. And Prabhupada is, and all disabled, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Prabhupada is like that. He made everybody happy with his words and his dealings. And everybody understood the greatness of Prabhupada while Prabhupada was there. So, coming back here, but also those who, did we read this? Yeah, Annakuta, they saw the same. We read this last week, so I'm just going to go forward. Sakala Brahmane Puri Vaishnava Karila. Sei Seva Madhye Sabha Niyojila. All the Brahmanas present on that occasion were initiated by Madhavendra Puri into the Vaishnava cult, and Madhavendra Puri engaged them in different types of services. Just imagine, that is the very day Annakut festival was planned, that is the very day God is put to rest, and that is the very day he is giving initiations also. Why is he doing it? Because he is making sure that there are enough committed people to continue to serve the deity. Prabhuji and Mataji, a Vaishnava is always worried about continuity of service. Not one day service. Oh, this day I did a lot and it's done is done. No. Prabhupada made sure ISKCON continues after he left. That is the greatness of a Sansthapak Acharya. A leader is not known by what he did when he was there. A real leader is known of what happened after he left. Right? How he created an institution, how he created a system that everything is continuing even after he left. Madhavendra Puri is exemplifying that by making sure he is initiating Brahmanas into Vaishnavas. And in purport, Prabhupada explains that no Brahmana is qualified to worship Lakshmi Narayan. Only a Vaishnava is qualified. And just because you're a Brahmana doesn't mean that you can start worshipping Radha and Krishna. No. Only a Vaishnava can. So Brahmanas have to be, given the Vaishnava consciousness. And that's there in the purport. We read this last week. It's a long purport, but we read it. Punadina se prabhura karila uttana. Kichu boga lagai karila jalapana. Karaila jalapana. After taking rest, the deity must be awakened at the end of the day, and immediately some food and some water must be offered to him. Just think, literally like a small child being, after a nap, again, give something before he sleeps again. This offering is called Vaikhali Bhoga. Bhoga offered at the end of the day. Hare Krishna. Gopala Prakata Haila Deshe Shabda Haila. Gopala Prakata Haila Deshe Shabda Haila. Asha Pasha Gramera Loka Dekhite Aila. Asha Pasha Gramera Loka Dekhite Aila. When it was advertised throughout the country that Lord Gopala had appeared atop Govardhana hill, all the people of the neighboring villages came to see the deity. Right? Not advertised through WhatsApp, not advertised through any Facebook or any of these mediums, just by word of mouth. Right? Very less number of people actually used to go outside the village. Some brahmanas and sadhus would go around villages. Most of the villagers would stay in the same village. Just through this, within few days, the news spread throughout the entire Braj that Gopala has come and is taking offerings. And we can do offering to Gopala. The same Gopala, 5,000 years ago, installed by Vajrana. We have that temple now. एक एक दिना एक एक ग्रामे ला इला मागीना अन्नकूट करे सभे हर्षिता हाना. One village after another was pleased to beg Madhavendra Puri to allot them one day to perform the Annakuta ceremony. Thus, day after day, the Annakuta ceremony was performed for some time. Right? This is like a request. Please, can we do something for Gopala? Come on, give us one chance. Our village is craving for it. Give us a chance. Give us a chance. This was a culture, Prabhujis. This was a culture in the past. Some fraction of that culture is there even now. Even now, people can go and opt for service in Tirumala Devasthana. Can we get some service a certain number of days? And you get that service. And then you go there, and for those number of days, you're only doing service. Nothing else. It's coming from the past. That is how our ancestors were. The entire village would serve a temple for a certain number of days. And during that time, there is no other activity except serving the temple. Right? And that way, temple were so opulent. And everybody would give something before he leaves for the temple. Oh, I have 3 sons and 4 plots. I'll give 3 plots to my son and 1 plot I'll keep to myself. No business like that. I'll give one of my properties. Just like my sons, even Krishna is my worshipable Lord. I'm giving this to Krishna. And that is how so many properties were given to the temples. Temples are the richest institutions, in our country. Until stupid government came and they kept all these kind of acts and they started taking over the properties of the temple as if with their efforts. There are ancestors who gave lot of lands. Temple used to have like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 acres of land and so much jewelry. Even now, the jewelry under many big temples like Ananta Padmanabha Swami Temple or Jagannath Puri, they have jewelry that can fix the economy of the whole planet for 20 lifetimes. But that is not for fixing the economy. That is an offering that even if any pralaya comes, still the service in the temple should not stop. The Annakuta should not stop. Right? Deity should be nicely taken care. I think last week I told about this incident when Prabhupada went to a temple. He said, why is the deity becoming thin? Nobody could understand. Prabhupada could see deity is becoming thin. And Prabhupada told the temple president, tell me what's exactly happening. And he said, Prabhupada, actually, we are only giving 6 bogas instead of 6. We are only giving 4 bogas instead of 6. Because of funds problem, we decided we'll do only 4. I said, how can you do that? Even if everybody remains, hungry, we cannot compromise on the number of bogas for the deity. And that is the reason, even now, in ISKCON, we have a very, very strict deity ministry. They go and investigate every single temple. How are they maintaining the deities? That is why it's very difficult to open a temple in ISKCON. Unless you have those many number of people who are trained to take care of the deities. Not like, I have 10 crore rupees, I'll open ISKCON temple. Nahi hoga. Even if you have 100 crores, you cannot open ISKCON temple. To open ISKCON temple, you are supposed to have so many number of brahmanas, so many number of full-time devotees, so many number of people who will take care of so many departments. Then it is allowed that, yes, now you can open the temple. That's why there is a whole stage, right? We become a Namahata, outpost, extension center, preaching center, then a branch, which is a temple. And at every step, so many criteria are seen that, are you fulfilling this criteria? Then only you are given the next step, right? So these all things are important because Madhavendra Puri is making sure those things are being taken care. One by one village is ready to do the Annakuta. How happy Madhavendra Puri will be. It is explained that Madhavendra Puri would eat his meal only after all the festivities are completed, and they would only get completed in the night. So he would only eat once in the night. And he would only eat if somebody comes and gives him, oh, you didn't eat, please take this. Otherwise, he'll not even eat that. And it continued for 2 years. 365 into 2 is what? 730? 730 Annakut festivals were done by 730 villages. One after the other, one after the other, and 730 days. Madhavendra Puri never had a meal during the daytime. He would just be busy engaging all the villagers, come and do the festival properly, and training them to make sure they're doing it properly. It's not like, oh, somebody is enthusiastic, do whatever you want to do. No, there is a procedure. And Gopala, why is that procedure kept? Because Gopala has to be happy. That is the most, Saragrahi means Gopala, is he happy? Ratri kale Thakure re Karaya Shayana Puri Gosani Khaila Kichu Gaudiya Bhojana. Śrī Mādhavendra Puri did not eat anything throughout the day. But at night, after laying the deity down to rest, he took a milk preparation. And actually the background is, it's not like he took it. Somebody gave it. Oh, at least now you please have something. Last week I discussed about a Goswami who would beg. And his patra of begging is his palm. And whatever you keep, anything that fits on that palm is what he is supposed to eat. Anything more than that palm is sense gratification. Right? If it falls apart, that means, oh, I'm eating more. Right? And that is how his standard is. Because they actually felt that, at one place, Prabhupada explains, that people who go from place to eat prasad will not go back to Krishna. I'll repeat it. People who go from place to eat tasty prasad will not go back to Krishna, even if it is prasad. Because the goal is to control your senses. If ultimately, in the name of prasad, you are going from this, Arey Prabhuji, your temple ka Govinda is khatarnak Prabhuji. No, this one also Prabhuji, khatarnak Prabhuji. This one also Prabhuji, prasad Prabhuji. Aha, paneer tikka Prabhu. What are you doing? You are water in the I am also a victim to that. But I am telling you, that tendency has to eventually go down. Initial days, okay. But how long is your initial days? Your last days are coming. How many more initial days? Right? At one point, we should decide, Arey, my goal is not to satisfy my tongue. My goal is to satisfy Krishna. Right? We should try to bring that down. And Prabhupada is very clear about it. Prabhupada in initial days, he used to make people eat so much that they used to walk like ducks. Prabhupada used to tell, my disciples are walking like ducks after eating. Takum, 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 takum. Right? But later on, Prabhupada also told, no, that's not good for a devotee. So much of food, so much of prasad, especially sweets, sweetmeats, very dangerous. Actually, in Chaturmas, we don't eat urad dal and, in one of the months we don't eat curd, yogurt, milk preparations, green leaves. Why? Because they're high protein. And protein actually is sense gratification. Okay, don't look at me like that. I will show you the purport today. It will come where Prabhupada is saying protein is sense gratification. Too much protein. So at least during those 4 months of Chaturmas, bring down that protein. Right? So that you stop thinking about taste and, all that taste buds in the name of prasad. Right? But at least in our center also, we can keep it simple. Let's increase Krishna Katha. Right? Let's increase the varieties of bhoga for Krishna, but let us decrease our prasad. To make it very simple. Otherwise, the motivation will be different. See, tomorrow, if we are having so many, I remember, one devotee came and asked me many, many years ago, "Yen Prabhuji, maja prasad baruntledu. Varieties in leven Prabhuji. Last week also khichdi, this week also khichdi. What Prabhuji? Arey, what are you coming here for?" Right? Of course, he is coming for khichdi only, not for khichdi, but something more. But is that the only motivating factor? That means what exactly is happening? Huh? And one more thing, since the congregation is here, me and Balgwan Prabhu were discussing about it. That why in the center many are not becoming devotees. In home programs, many became devotees. In fact, many of you sitting here, you all became devotees in home programs, in your home or somebody's home. But in the center, I'm sorry to tell, many people are coming and going. Of course, it is not a vegetarian hotel. This is not a vegetarian hotel, right? But it is not your fault. There is a fault that is happening here itself. Is what? We are not offering prasad properly. There is no prayer behind the bhoga. The person cooking, the person offering, Prabhu, is a very, very important critical task. Prasad can change the mode of consciousness of a person from tamoguna to satvaguna. Prasad can only do. No matter how many lectures you give to a tamoguna person, he will not change to satvaguna. It will only change by prasad. So my humble request, that whoever is offering it here, please offer it very intensely. With a lot of prayer that Krishna, please accept this. Keeping the Tulsi, please accept this. And let this prasad change the consciousness of everybody coming here. And I also request one Mataji, I don't know if you want can plan Mataji or Prabhuji, one person make something from your house and bring. Not everything has to be done by Karthik Prabhu or our centralized kitchen. One item, small item, even one spoon, but that one spoon will change our consciousness. Something is not happening right. And it is not about, it's a fact that prasad is very important ingredient of our Krishna consciousness. If prasad is properly cooked in right consciousness, not in a business consciousness. If somebody is cooking prasad that, I'm getting paid 6,000, I'll make it in 4,500, I have 1,500 in my profit. If that is how he is thinking and making that, what do you think? It will change our consciousness? It will not change our consciousness. So we have to have regularly prasad combinedly sitting together, right? Prabhupada also told, that devotees, many Maharajas say, is it? Chandramouli Maharaj says, you should all sit in a circle and have prasad, always. Devotees should never eat alone. Devotees should always eat with somebody. Very important class of devotional service. Never eat alone. Sit with somebody and discuss and share each other's realizations. Talk about the lecture that you heard today. Talk about the kirtan that you heard today. Or something that you heard in the last 1 week. Devotional discussion while you are eating, honoring prasad. And if nothing, a Prabhupada lecture is going on, everybody is eating prasad. I have seen in temples, they keep a Prabhupada lecture and they start serving everybody. And they're honoring also hearing. Prabhu, it's a very important thing. Otherwise, what will happen? In the name of satsang, this will become a vegetarian hotel. Where there is no transformation of consciousness. People will just come here, eat and go. And we are also like, 100 people came. What to? 100 people came, ate and went. Nothing happened. We are not here to serve food. We are here to serve prasad. And the person serving also, I request everybody serving there, please keep chanting when you are serving and make that person also chant. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Hare. Let's chant when we are giving also, taking also. Because all other 6 days, what we do outside this, we don't know. But when we are all meeting, these are very important hours that we are spending. Already 2 hours are passed. And how much we have benefited, we have to start counting like that. In my 168 hours, I only get 3 hours with you, Krishna. In these 3 hours, what change I have brought into my consciousness? If this satsang is not bringing that change in consciousness, then you are wasting your time. Please leave this satsang. Go find another satsang. Because that's very important. And please give that advice also here. That Prabhu, kuch to theek nahi ho raha hai. I'm not feeling inspired. And that's a homework that we have to sit down and think how to keep people inspired. Why do we think we keep scheduling these festivals? Somebody asked me, Prabhu, kyun karta hai itna festival? Arey Baba, to keep the inspiration on. There is no other way to keep the inspiration on. We have to be in our toes at all times, doing. Some people complain, Prabhuji, there is no balance in spiritual life only, Prabhuji. I'm sorry to tell you, there cannot be balance in spiritual life. We are already imbalanced in material life. Right? Don't try to balance anything here. Get out of here. There's nothing to balance here. Inspire yourself, take up more services, become more serious in your Krishna consciousness, and get out of this place. Prabhu, I have to balance my material life and spiritual life. Krishna will balance, don't worry. If you are sincere to your sadhana, Krishna will help you in material life also. He will help. Why do you think he will not help? Huh? Did he not help the Pandavas? They were just sincere. They took care of his kingdom also. He took care of the war also. Isn't it? Krishna is always there to take care of everything that you need. To Sridhama Brahman, Krishna gave everything. Without even asking. Right? He didn't even ask. He just came. And he experienced Krishna and he left. But by the time he went back, everything was given. Prabhuji and Matajis, don't try to balance spiritual life and material life. Be sincere in your spiritual life. And we as Grahasthas are in the most vulnerable situation, where we have so many diversions, so many places we can get deviated here and there. And this association, these 3-4 hours in a week are very important for us. Today, some devotees were telling, Prabhu, we had such a big morning program, again evening program, avasarama, why can't you cancel it? I said, for me it is important. What will I do? Or please close your eyes, tell sincerely to your heart. If you are not in the satsang today evening, what you will be doing in the house? Huh? Some nonsense only will be doing. Some nonsense. Netflix, Prime Video, or क्या? IPL. Huh? Two fools are beating each other and we'll sit down and see like a fool. Right? And just think about it. That's what we'll do. And Prabhu, clock is ticking. Today morning I was hearing partially a lecture of Anandandam Prabhu. He was talking about old age. Did you hear that? He was talking about what happens in old age. My God, it's a scary lecture. I opt in between. What is this? You are exposing my situation. One by one, how things will fail, he was telling. First, you can't see. Slowly, your sight will go down. Next, you can't hear. Next, you can't smell. Next, you can't speak. Next, you can't walk. Knee problems. Next, this, next, that, next, that. Next. You'll go to a point where you become unoperational. You think at that time you'll sit and do Annakut festival? At that time you'll come to, what is it? Naukavayar festival? Right? No. Prabhu, right now, your organs are working. Whatever age you are, spend your time in Krishna consciousness. Because you don't know when you will be bereft of this opportunity. Don't be proud that I am fit now. Both look both proud the. I am fit now, fit now. Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest boxer, right? That person who was so powerful, at the end of his life he could not even walk. He got Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, right? I mean, just imagine the strongest of the people who are so proud of their physique, their fitness. Okay, cult fit. There is an ad that comes in YouTube. Right? What are you trying to be fit here? This body is given only for one purpose, self-realization. Keep it enough fit that you can perform the services for Krishna. Don't try to make a shape out of this. Already it's a shapeless situation. What are you trying to shape it out? Nothing. Be focused on your devotional service. Use it for Krishna's service. Treat it like a temple of Krishna. Keep it clean. Eat prasad. First thing, right? Today's Prabhupada's quote, cleanliness is godliness. Prabhupada is saying, keep everything clean around you. All the 9 holes of your body should be clean. Right? Especially this mouth should be clean. That you are not speaking rubbish. You are not speaking unnecessary things. And you are utilizing it to only chant the names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Utilizing it to honor Prasad. Utilizing it to praise devotees like Madhavendra Puri, what we are doing right now. Right? Use it in such a sacred way that your entire life will change. Actually, hearing and speaking, if we control, everything else will be controlled automatically. Right? So here, Madhavendra Puri did not eat anything throughout the day, but at night, after laying down the deity, he took a milk preparation. Pratha kale puna taiche karila sevana. Anna lana eka gramera aila loka gana. The next morning, the rendering of service to the deity began again, and the people from one village arrived, and with all kinds of food grains. Food grains, right? That is the real wealth, having food grains in the house. So they brought all their food grains. Anna grata dadhi dugda grame yata chila. Gopalera age loka aniya dharila. The inhabitants of the village brought to the deity of Gopala as much food, grains, ghee, yogurt and milk as they had in their village. Everything they brought. Right? All curd, all ghee, all everything. Because this is the time to give it to Gopala. Everything. Purport. Can somebody read the purport? Yeah? You want to read the first? Yeah.
Perfect. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Anna, Dhrita, Dadi and Dukkha are food grains, ghee, yogurt and milk. Actually, these are the basis of all food. Vegetables and fruits are subsidiary. Hundreds and thousands of preparations can be made out of grains, vegetables, ghee, milk and yogurt. The food offered to Gopal in the Annakut ceremony contained only these 5 ingredients. Only demoniac people are attracted to other types of food, which we will not even mention in this connection. We should understand that in order to prepare nutritious food, we require only grains, ghee, yogurt and milk. We cannot offer anything else to the deity. The Vaishnava, the perfect human being, does not accept anything not offered to the deity. People are often frustrated with national food policies, but from the Vedic scriptures, we find that if there are sufficient cows and grains, the entire food problem is solved. The Vaishyas, people engaged in agriculture and commerce, are therefore recommended in the Bhagavad Gita to produce grains and give protection to the cows. Cows are the most important animals because they produce the miracle food, milk, from which we can prepare ghee and yogurt. The perfection of human civilization depends on Krishna consciousness, which recommends deity worship. Preparations made from vegetables, grains, milk, ghee and yogurt are offered to the deity and then distributed. Here we can see the difference between the East and the West. The people who came to see the deity of Gopal brought all kinds of food to offer the deity. They brought all the food they had in stock and they came before the deity not only to accept prasadam for themselves but to distribute it to others. The Krishna consciousness movement vigorously approves this practice of preparing food, offering it to the deity and distributing it to the general population. This activity should be extended universally to stop sinful eating habits as well as other behavior befitting only demons. A demoniac civilization will never bring peace within the world. Since eating is the first necessity in human society, those engaged in solving the problems of preparing and distributing food should take lessons from Madhavendra Puri and execute the Annakutta ceremony. When the people take to eating only prasadam offered to the deity, all the demons will be turned into Vaishnavas. When the people are Krishna conscious, naturally the government will be so also. A Krishna conscious man is always a very liberal well-wisher of everyone. When such men head the government, the people will certainly be sinless. They will no longer be disturbing demons. It is then and then only that a peaceful condition can prevail in society. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You can see how much importance Prabhupada is giving, explaining the importance of prasad and how it is prepared and what is offered to the deity. That is why we should not bring these chemical cakes and offer it to deity. Prepare it at your home. Right? Use proper ghee, use proper butter. Right? Try to prepare butter in your house. Prabhuji, we can bring back our ancient Vedic life if we really want to. If we really want to. If we want to improvise our health, improvise the kind of bhoga we're preparing in the house, it's not any big deal. We just have to get rid of certain things that we are trying to do. Right? How much time does it take to make butter in your house? If you really think, not much time. But you're going and buying that chemicalized butter. Right? There are some people who say, I can't believe that this is butter. It's written on that. Actually, it's not butter. It's made of some vegetable oils. Right? And we try to make things out of it. It will spoil our health. And you can't offer that to deities. Of course, as the Kali Yuga is progressing, we are compromising a lot of things. What is the protection for us? When we offer healthy things to the deities, who will eat after that? We don't eat. That is like a correction point. Just imagine. When you put Kantimala on your throat, this is a correction point. Nothing, no nonsense can cross this and go down. Right? So Kantimala means you are eating prasad. You are not eating anything that cannot be offered to God. Very clearly. Right? So by becoming God conscious, we'll automatically become healthy also. But unfortunately, because of our laziness, we are trying to offer things to Krishna which are not supposed to be offered. Like I saw once, please, I don't know who made it, but you can't offer Maggie to Krishna. I saw somebody brought Maggie and they're offering it during Chapan Bhog. I literally felt like taking and throwing it outside, but at that point I did not want to hurt the devotee. I don't know who that was. But you can't do that. Prepare things by yourself. Be mindful. What are you trying to do? Prepare. There are so many things. We become too lazy. That's the problem. Even cakes. How long does it take to make a cake, Prabhu? Mataji's? 45 minutes. Just make a night cake. Why do you want to put grease and oil on that? And make it colorful and put that into somebody's throat. You don't need all that. What they put in the bakeries. You think it's healthy? I can bet you, eat one cake every day, you'll die in one week. You'll die just go and eat cake every day. 1 kg cake, go to that super castle, whatever that place is. I don't want to say that. So take that, cut the cake, eat every cake one day. 1 day, 1 kg cake you eat. You will not go to AAG, you will go to direct, what is that, Vaikunta Prasthana. Pakka. So that is how much chemical is there in that, Prabhu. Are we realizing? And then we come and keep it in front of Krishna. It's somebody's birthday. Please, I'm pleading to you, let us celebrate birthdays. We can't leave the British, so we have to cut the cake. But at least make that cake at home. Respective husband or wife, whoever's our birthday you want to celebrate, if somebody else forgets, you can make that cake and bring here. Or order that cake within devotees. There are some Matajis who can make cake. Like Surbi Mataji makes nice cake. Nilesh Prabhu's wife. Padma Mataji makes nice cake. So you can tell them, whatever is the expense we'll give, but please make a cake for us. Because I want to offer it to Krishna. Right? Chapan Bhog should be filled with love and pure items. Purity is bhakti. And effort especially. And everything can be made. Of course, we have crossed a long way already. We have, but doesn't mean that we can't come back. Let us try to rectify small things and try to come back. When His Holiness Bhakti Raghav Maharaj was here, he did not eat in his disciples' house. Maharaj, you will not have? No, I will not have. He didn't even tell why no. Because he said, I am only going to eat from a place where cow dung and cow urine is used in an organic way to grow vegetables. Otherwise, not eat. Later on, they got to know and they were like, where should we get it? Luckily, I have a small farmhouse in that we make some vegetables only with cow dung and cow urine. And that person came literally and took some, whatever is available. It was not like we have all vegetables. Whatever was growing little, they took all that and then Maharaj ate. So, he is conveying a message to his disciples and to all of us that we have to go healthy. Don't fall after, colorful vegetables and colorful, nice looking this and that. They're only going to give us diseases. Try to go for healthy alternatives. In your courtyard, in your house, you can grow some things. At least one meal in a week you can have which is meaningful, which is healthy. Again, yeah. Purvadina praya vipra karila randhana. Taiche anna kota gopala karila bhojana. The next day, almost as before, there was an Annakuta ceremony. All the Brahmanas prepared foods and Gopala accepted them. Hari Bo. Brajavasi lokera Krishna sahaja priti. Gopalera sahaja priti. Brajavasi prati. The ideal place to execute Krishna consciousness is Brajabhumi or Vrindavana, where the people are naturally inclined to love Krishna and Krishna is naturally inclined to love them. Right? Yeah, there is a purport here in the Bhagavad Gita. Can somebody read the purport? I'll just go to the restroom and come, somebody can scroll it down.
Hare Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita 4.11, he said, Ye yata mam prabhadyante tam tataiva bhajamyaham. There is a responsive cooperation between the Supreme Lord Krishna and his devotees. The more a devotee sincerely loves Krishna, the more Krishna reciprocates. So much so that a highly advanced devotee can talk with Krishna face to face. Krishna confirms this in the Bhagavad Gita 10.10. Tesham sadata yuktanam bhajatam priti-purvakam Tadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. The actual mission of human life is to understand Krishna and return home back to Godhead. Therefore, one who is sincerely engaged in the service of Lord with love and with faith can talk with Krishna and receive instructions by which he can speedily return home back to Godhead. Today, many scholars defend the science of religion and they have some conception of Supreme Personality of Godhead. But religion without practical experience of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is no religion at all. Srimad Bhagavatam describes this as a form of cheating. Religion means abiding by the orders of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If one is not qualified to talk with him and take lessons from him, how can one understand the principles of religion? Thus, talks of religion or religious experience without Krishna consciousness are a useless waste of time.
Can anybody highlight what were the important points here? Pass on.
What is actually religion? Religion is to follow the orders of Krishna. Anything else is not religion.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So simple and straight. Whatever Krishna told is dharma. Everything else is bakwas. Right? This is the way Prabhupada explained. Whatever Krishna told is dharma. Everything else is meaningless. Even Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita what is knowledge. Right? In 13th chapter he explains what is knowledge. He tells austerity, submitting to a spiritual master, this, that, all these things is knowledge. And at the end what does he say? Everything else is ignorance. We have to be very clear, Prabhu. What are we here for? Text 96. Mahaprasada khaila asiya sabaloka. Gopala dekhiya sabar khande dukha shokha. Throngs of people came from different villages to see the deity of Gopala, and they took Mahaprasad sumptuously. When they saw the super excellent form of Lord Gopala, all their lamentation and unhappiness disappeared. Hare Krishna. The beauty of Gopala, the moment they saw, they felt so satisfied. How many of you, you went in front of some deity and immediately feel satisfied? Did it happen in your life anytime?
At least relieved of the
Yeah,
pain.
you literally felt relief. How many of you felt that you have come in front of your Father, your eternal Father, and without any show off, without any planned, tears started rolling. Did it happen? We're not trying to be Sahajiyas. Actually, it happens, bro. Sometimes you go in front of, especially when going through a lot of trauma in life, so many reversals are happening, and at that time you go in front of Shri Krishna Bhagwan, in ISKCON temple, or in Tirupati, or in Srirangam, or any of the temple. It can also be a temple in your street. And you go there, and you look at the deity, and then you automatically the natural, innate bhakti will come out. Prabhupada explains a child. Today morning I was hearing Prabhupada. There is a lecture of Prabhupada. Why is Mangalarti important? That is the title of the lecture. I only heard it half. And the Prabhupada is saying that when you make a small child walk, small infant child, you're trying to make him walk, you are fully confident that he'll walk one day. Isn't it? You're not trying to make him do something unnatural. You're just making him walk. And you know that one day he'll walk. Right now he's struggling. In the same way, Prabhuji and Mataji's, we all will become pure devotees. There is no doubt about it. Prabhupada is saying that. These are Prabhupada's words. Every single living entity is a pure soul. Is a pure devotee. Because he came in contact with this material world, he became conditioned. We have to just hold each other's hands and with patience and with lot of love and compassion. We should help each other walk in satsang. That's all we are doing. When you're conducting satsang in the house, what are you doing? You're trying to hold people's hands and make them walk. Don't see faults in them. Because if you see faults in them, or they see faults in you, what good will it do to each other? Nothing. How can you encourage them to go forward? Even one step. One step you make somebody to go towards Krishna, Krishna will push you 1,000 steps ahead towards himself. And he will come 10,000 steps ahead towards you. Right? One step that you do for somebody, that is called preaching. Preaching means how can I help somebody take that one step? And sometimes we have to tell the opposite person what is needful also. Being compassionate doesn't mean that you're completely oblivious or you're completely ignorant of any nonsense that the person is doing. Sometimes you have to tell also. But that should happen only after lot of compassion and lot of time you spent with that person, not on the day one. Right? Not on the day one. So these are all learnings. How patient is Krishna with us? Actually, one day I was discussing with Balwant Prabhu. So what is Krishna's greatest opulence? We know he's the most knowledgeable, most beautiful, most famous, most richest, most strongest, most renunciate. But among all this, in spite of having all this, he's the most patient also. Most patient person. He is waiting for all of us to take our decision and is waiting eternally. My God, how can somebody wait for the opposite person to make his decision eternally? Because he loves us so much. Only when you love somebody unconditionally can you be patient with that person. You lose patience when you have too many expectations. But patience comes naturally when there are no expectations. You actually want to serve that person. So you'll automatically become very patient. So anyway, this is what is happening. They took Mahaprasad sumptuously and they saw the super excellent form of Lord Gopala. All the lamentation and unhappiness disappeared. Hare Krishna. Asha pasha braja bhumera yatha krama sabha. Asha pasha braja bhumera yatha krama sabha. Eka dina sabe kare mahotsava. Eka dina sabe kare mahotsava. All the villages in neighboring Brajbhumi Vrindavana became aware of the appearance of Gopala, and all the people from these villages came to see him. Day after day, they all performed the Annakuta ceremony. Gopala prakata shuni nana desha haite. Gopala prakata shuni nana desha haite. Nana dravya lana loka lagila asite. Nana dravya lana loka lagila asite. In this way, not only the neighboring villages but all the other provinces came to know of Gopala's appearance. Thus, people came from all over, bringing a variety of presentations. It was glowing, glory was going. मथुरारा लोक सब बड़ बड़ धानी भक्ति करी नाना द्रव्य भेत देया आनी. The people of Mathura, who are very big capitalists, also brought various presentations and offered them before the deity in devotional service. So not only simple villagers, even big businessmen from Mathura brought their things. Sarva rupya vastra, swarna rupya vastra, gandha bhaksya upahara. Asankhya aise nitya badila bandhara. Bhandara, yes. Thus, countless presentations of gold, silver, garments, scented articles, and eatables arrived. The store of Gopala increased daily. Hare Krishna. Isko bolte Bhagwan. Right? He came and he is the richest on the day one only. Right? Can you see that happened in Ayodhya also recently? Yeah? Just in no matter time. Can you open a company? I mean, I should not say this, but just think about it. Can you open a company which becomes 1,000 times bigger in 1 month? That's what happened in Ayodhya. Right? DD is installed. How much donations can you expect? Unlimited. How many people started coming? Unlimited. How did the whole city grow out of it? Unlimited. And in no matter of time, Uttar Pradesh is going to become the most highest, per capita income and GDP state of entire India. Most. Just a matter of time. And Yogi Aditya knows that. And he is not somebody who manufactured this. This was our economy, Prabhu. This was the economy of our country. Every single city flourished because of the temple in that city. And the moment you bring down the temple, the whole economy falls down. It is explained, the temple was a bank also for the people. People would take loan from the temple. Temple was a place that used to give them shelter when any calamity comes in the place. The money was used to fix anything and everything. No government, no election, no MP, no anything, no leader. Temple used to take care of the entire place. And people were so confident about that economy, temple-based economy. Right? But now we are thinking, he's doing something wonderful. He's doing wonderful because in today's day and time, he's trying to implement what was there in the Vedic times. Right? And just a matter of time, if every person, every leader in the society focuses on making people into devotees and invests a little bit of time in providing resources for them to maintain temples. Prabhuji, India will forever become the greatest superpower on the planet. Just a matter of time. We are not doing what is needed. We are not confident about it. Right? Recently, the Kumbh Mela, what kind of achievement was that? When ISKCON went and did so many camps there, but ISKCON was like small grain in a big, bag, and still it was a shock to do what he was doing. We were distributing 1.5 to 2 lakh plates of prasadam per day. You know how many people are coming there per day? 2-3 crore people are coming there. Right? How many annakuts were happening? Thousands. Some of them went. I could not go there, but some of them went. Right? All this was possible how? Just by allowing people to do what they want to do for God. Even now, when you go to... She is making sure he is offering properly. Just tell me. Mantra javatunna. Thank you, bro. Let us pray to Lord Krishna that please accept this prasad, please accept this bhoga, and after your acceptance, this bhoga will be prasad and it will enter into our consciousness when we honor it and change our consciousness. Hare Krishna. Eka mahadhani Kshatriya Karela Mandira. Keha Paka Bandhara Kaila. Kehata Prachira. One very rich Kshatriya of the royal order constructed a temple. Someone made cooking utensils and someone constructed boundary walls. See how things are happening? Everybody is enthusiastic coming forward and doing. Eka Eka Brajavasi, Eka Eka Gabi Dila. Sahasra Sahasra Gabi Gopalera Haila. Each and every family residing in the land of Rajbhumi contributed one cow. In this way, thousands of cows became the property of Gopala. In a single day. Hare Krishna. Can somebody read the purport? Where's the mic?
Hare Krishna. This is the way to install the deity, construct the temple, and increase the property of the temple. Everyone should be enthusiastic to contribute to the construction of the temple for the deity, and everyone should also contribute food for the distribution of prasadam. The devotee should preach the gospel of devotional service and thus engage people in practical service to the deity. Wealthy people can also be attracted to take part in these activities. In this way, everyone will become spiritually inclined and the entire society will be converted to Krishna consciousness. The desire to satisfy the material senses will automatically diminish and the senses will become so purified that they will be able to engage in bhakti, devotional service to the Lord. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. By serving the Lord, one's senses are gradually purified. The engagement of one's purified senses in the service of Lord Rishikesha is called bhakti. When the dormant propensity for bhakti is awakened, one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead as He is. Bhaktya mam abhignati yavan yaschasmi tattvataha. Bhagavad Gita 18.55. This is the process of giving humanity the chance to awaken Krishna consciousness. Thus, people can perfect their lives in all respects. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji and Matajis, I'd like to make a small announcement, unplanned but a preliminary announcement, that we have got 1.5 acre of land in Lilananda. The disciples of His Holiness Bhakti Raghav Swami Maharaj, and there is another disciple of Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj. They work day and night, and they have inspired and they have served all kinds of people to make sure that the land got registered in the name of ISKCON recently. And His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu has requested all of us to be part of the temple project. And recently had a meeting, and we are starting the construction of the temple very soon. And this purport made me remember that we all have to be part of it. You construct a temple for Krishna in this life, and this is your last life. Right? There is no discussion on that. Right? So please start saving money. Please start keeping things aside. There's a great opportunities coming our way. It's going to be the biggest temple of ISKCON in entire Hyderabad. 1.5 acre of land. Not in some inner lane. It's on the main road of Nalaganda. Main road. Right? You can see it. So there is a big project coming ahead. And the proposal, high level proposal. When I was reading this, I was thinking, should I announce it today? Should I wait for some time? But I'm too tempted to stop it. The plan is, each Sunday feast will be given to one satsang to take care. Right? So one satsang will come from Mangalarti to Shayanarti, making a Rajbhog, all bhogas you all have to do. That is the plan. Yeah. And all preachers here will be given an opportunity to preach in that place. 7 days Bhagavatams, 7 days Bhagavad Gita, 7 days Chaitanya Charitamrita classes. Right? So, we all are going to become more and more busy, Prabhuji and Mataji. Very, very busy. We'll become extremely busy. Right? And this year, we are not having the Rath Yatra in Bhakti Center. We are having the Rath Yatra in front of that temple, all of us together. That is the idea. Right? Because ultimately, we all are consolidating ourselves at one place. And there are many, many, many more centers that are going to come up, many, many programs that are going to grow in the gated communities. We are going to continue what we are doing, and at the same time, we are going to utilize our resources, our intelligence to bring people close to this temple, and we all will engage them in devotional service. So, nothing is changing. All our preaching will continue and, in fact, grow more. Right? So, our model is inspire devotees in their houses, bring them to the temple for big festivals. Right? And also do the festivals in the communities. Nothing is changing. But it's only going to get enhanced. So, it's a big news. Just this last Friday morning, I had a meeting, and His Holiness, I'm still learning and forgetting the name, because recently Maharaj took sannyas from Kamal Lochan Prabhu, Bhakti Padma Saurabha Parivrajika Maharaj. So he is personally, His Holiness Bhakti Raghav Maharaj told this Maharaj to personally take care of this project. And me and Sri Ram Prabhu, who is main person in getting that land, we both are going to be engaged in this project. Right? So, two of us, and with us, everybody else, we're going to engage and make sure that this temple is a big success. Ultimately, Prabhupada's desire is we all have to cooperate and serve Krishna together. Right? So there will be tests. There will be false ego being tested at all corners. But we should not forget the lesson from Madhavendra Puri, how he engaged all the villages to serve Gopala. Right? In the same way, we are all small villages. Actually, we are villages only. Now we become cities. Right? Pupalaguda village, Gopanpalli village. Right? Now we all have become cities, but it's a very big thing that's happening. So very excited to share with you, and more I'll be sharing as we start making plans. There are a lot of plans that are happening. A makeshift temple is going to come. Right? So let me share as it happens. Right? Hare Krishna. Thank you. It is, I'll send the Google map, don't worry. It's on the main road.
I used to call Lilananda a desert for the last 15 years. I've been there. Not one pitta. Devotee I used to say, I used to come all the way.
Now it's going to become the very, now this will be a very big thing. It'll happen. So there is a condition that 4 projects have to happen there. One is a temple. Second is a compulsory Goshala. Third is a compulsory farmers coaching center. And that's a demand of government when they gave this land. And fourth is, food for life, ISKCON Food for Life kitchen coming up there in that place. So all these 4 are going to be planned. Same place. 1.5 acre is a lot of land, bro. Lot of land in this place. Yeah, a small Goshala will be there.
Close to 7,000 square yards.
Yeah, 6,000. 6,000 plus.
42,000 plus 2,000.
Yeah. Hare Hare Krishna. Gauda haite aila dui vairagi brahmana. Puri Gosani Rakhila Tare Kariya Yatana. Eventually, 2 Brahmanas in the renounced order arrived from Bengal, and Madhavendra Puri, who liked them very much, kept them in Vrindavana and gave them all kinds of comforts. Now here the migration has started now. Right? Bengalis eventually have to come. Gaudiya Vaishnavism have to come to Vrindavan. Sei doi shishya kari seva samarpila. Raja seva haya purira ananda badhila. These 2 were then initiated by Madhavendra Puri, and he entrusted them with the daily service of the Lord. This service was performed continuously, and the worship of the deity became very gorgeous. Thus, Madhavendra Puri was very pleased. Right? So he is handing over. Now, remember one thing, Prabhuji. If you are only happy and doing with your service and you're busy in that service, how will you get new service? Right? You should also have the art of making sure the service continues with or without you, and handover. So Madhavendra Puri is doing this handover, and Krishna is something new for him. Krishna is already thinking something new for him. Let us see what is he thinking. So here in the purport, can somebody read the purport?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
The 6 Goswamis and their followers started many temples, including the temples of Govinda, Gopinatha, Madan Mohana, Radha Damodara, Shama Sundara, Radha Ramana, and Gokulananda. The disciples of Goswamis were entrusted with the Seva Puja, deity worship of these temples. It was not that the disciples were family members of the original Goswamis. All the Goswamis were in the renounced order of life, and Jiva Goswami in particular was a long-life brahmachari. At present, Sevaitas assume the title of Goswami on the basis of their being engaged as Sevaitas of the deity. The Sevaitas who have inherited their positions now assume proprietorship of the temples, and some of them are selling the deity's properties as if it were their own. However, the temples did not originally belong to the Sevaitas.
So this proprietorship mentality has come, and a lot of problems have come into Vrindavan. Even now some of the temples are being occupied by families. But actually that was not the way. Madhavendra Puri did not have a plan of having children and keeping his children as a property of Gopala deity. That was never the plan. Vaishnavas never operated like that. But it's the effect of Kali Yuga. That's what Prabhupada is trying to explain. Ei mata vatsara dui karila sevana. Eka dina puri gosani dekhila swapana. Hari Bol, next episode is starting. In this way, the deity worship in the temple was very gorgeously performed for 2 years. Then one day Madhavendra Puri had a dream. What was the first dream? Make me a temple, I am sitting in that place, Gopala deity is giving. Now what is the next dream? Gopala kahe puri amara tapa nahi yaya. Mala yaja chandana lepa tabe se judaya. In his dream, Madhavendra Puri saw Gopala, who said, "My bodily temperature still has not decreased. Please bring sandalwood from the Malaya province and smear the pulp over my body to cool me." See, because now the beauty of this chapter is in the last 16 verses of this chapter. Right? You have to go to the last 16 verses where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes ecstatic discussing these things. And I don't want to reveal that secret. You have to go till there and then actually experience the beauty of the entire chapter. Remember, all this is being spoken by whom? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Swayam Bhagavan is repeating the Leela of his devotee. Devotee is repeating the Leela of Bhagavan in Bhagavatam. And Bhagavan is repeating the Leela of devotee in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. So beautiful. Yeah. So, can somebody read the purport here?
The deity of Gopala had been buried within the jungle for many years, and although he was installed and was offered thousands of pots of water, he still felt very hot. He therefore asked Madhavendra Puri to bring sandalwood from the Malaya province. Sandalwood produced in Malaya is very popular. That province is situated on the Western Ghat, and the hill Nilgiri is sometimes known as Malaya Hill. The word Malayaja is used to indicate the sandalwood produced in Malaya province. Sometimes the word Malaya refers to the modern country of Malaysia. Formerly, this country also produced sandalwood, but now they have found it profitable to produce rubber trees. Although the Vedic culture was once prevalent in Malaysia, now all the inhabitants are Muslims. The Vedic culture is now lost in Malaysia, Java, and Indonesia.
Prabhupada is writing this in 1960s, 1970s. Hare Krishna. Text 107. Malaya jana yana nila chala haite. Anya haite nahi tumi chalaha tvarite. Bring sandalwood pulp from Jagannath Puri. Kindly go quickly. Since no one else can do it, you must. Direct instruction. No discussion. Swapna dekhi puri gosanira haila parmesh paramavesha. Prabhu agya pali bhare gela purva desha. After having this dream, Madhavendra Puri Goswami became very glad due to ecstasy of love of Godhead, and in order to execute the command of the Lord, he started east towards Bengal immediately. See, a lot of times gurus give instruction to a disciple, but how many disciples actually follow it? Right? There are 3-4 types of disciples. First disciple, guru will give an instruction. Say, can you go and get me 1 dozen kela? Immediately, this first category is called Dandavat disciple. He is only good at giving Dandavat to Guru. After that, oh Maharaj, you want 1 dozen of kela? Yes, Maharaj, thank you for the mercy, Maharaj. And then he'll disappear. Nothing he'll do. Right? Another kind of disciple is ant disciple, it is called. Ant disciple means what? He will go, he'll also pay Dandavat, he'll take the instruction. After that, he'll go back. You see, ants when they're walking, they talk to each other, then they go. Then they talk to each other, then they go. Then talk to each other. That's what this fellow will do. He'll go there and Maharaj told 1 dozen kela, and he'll go. That fellow will go and tell somebody, Maharaj told 1 dozen kela, he'll go. Finally, no kela will come there. Right? So, but the third category of disciple is actually who, as soon as he hears that, he immediately go and get it. And the fourth category is the best, who will get it even before hearing it. Right? Like, that is what Prabhupada wants out of all of us. That do something for Krishna. Use your intelligence. Use your enthusiasm. According to time, place and circumstance. Don't try to come and ask me what can I do. You propose what you want to do. And Krishna will sanction it and the Guru will be very happy. If you want to satisfy your Guru, you have to come out of your comfort zone. And you should be ready to follow the instruction of Guru with full enthusiasm as your life and soul. Even a small instruction, you should take it very seriously. And there are many, many disciples of Prabhupada who have just taken a small instruction of Prabhupada and just followed that one instruction throughout their life, and their life is 100% successful. Right? Many, like Aindra Prabhu. Aindra Prabhu was doing kirtan, and when Prabhupada came, he bowed down and paid obeisances. Prabhupada came in front of him and looked at him and said, nice kirtan. Done. And that became the life and soul of Aindra Prabhu. He came to Vrindavan and he started doing 24 hours kirtan. And his entire consciousness for the rest of the life was how to please Radha Shyamsundar. Right? I was hearing this recently, I shared today morning also, that he was so much in love with Radha Shyamsundar that if somebody came to take a picture of Radha Shyamsundar, he would say, wait, don't take it now, I'll just come back. He'll go inside, close the altar, do some changes to the deity and come out until now you can take it. I say, okay, no, wait, I saw this. Then again he'll go. Sometimes he used to do 12 times like that. So one devotee was sharing. He was so particular that Radha Shyamsundar are perfectly dressed and perfectly ready to take a picture. Right? So the picture will go everywhere and make everybody a devotee. That was Aindra Prabhu. And there are many devotees like that who just heard one instruction and they gave their life for Prabhupada and they were glorified. Prabhuji and Matajis, in our life, we just have to follow one instruction of Prabhupada. And biggest instruction is to cooperate with each other. That was the last instruction. And tolerate each other. And try to understand each other and keep Krishna in the center. Even if some reversal comes, even if some correction comes, take that correction in the right consciousness. Otherwise, who will lose? We'll only lose. We'll lose association. Isn't it? Yeah. Time is running away, but I'll try to finish at a logical point. If that's okay with all you. Is it okay? She told you. Okay. Yeah. Sevara nirbandha loka karila sthapanam. Agya magi gauda deshe karila gamana. Before leaving, Madhavendra Puri made all the arrangements for regular deity worship and he engaged different people in various duties. Then, taking up the order of Gopala, he started for Bengal. So, he started towards the east from Vrindavan. He went east and then from there he came down towards Jagannath Puri. Shanti Pura Aila Advaita Acharya Rakhare. Shanti Pura Aila Puri ra prema dekhi Acharya Ananda Antare. When Madhavendra Puri arrived at the house of Advaita Acharya in Shantipura, the Acharya became very pleased upon seeing the ecstatic love of Godhead manifested in Madhavendra Puri. Can you see who is meeting whom? Right? This is called fortune. When you are sincere, Guru will come to your home and initiate you. These are the words of Srila Prabhupada. What did I just say? When we are sincere in a devotional service, Guru will search for you, come to your home and initiate you. Don't be worried, or Prabhu initiation hoga nahi hoga. Hoga when you are sincere. It will happen. There is no doubt about it. See what exactly happened here. Tanra thani mantra laila yatana karina. Chalila dakshine puri tanre diksha dina. Advaita Acharya begged to be initiated by Madhavendra Puri. After initiating him, Madhavendra Puri started for South India. Hare Krishna. See, Guru came to his house, initiated him and left to South India. Hare Krishna. This is called devotional life, where nothing happens by fluke. You can't cheat somebody to become or get something. When it's the right time, things will manifest. It will automatically happen. In this connection, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments that Advaita Acharya took initiation from Madhavendra Puri, who was a sannyasi in the disciplinary succession of Madhya Sampradaya. According to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Kiva Vipra Kiva Nyasi Shudra Kene Manaya Yai Krishna Tattva Vetta Sei Guru Haya. A person may be a Brahmana, a sannyasi, a Shudra or whatever, but if he is well conversant with the signs of Krishna, he can become a Guru. Madhya Lila 8.128. This statement is supported by Śrī Mādhavendra Purī. According to the Pancharatra injunction, only a householder Brahmana can initiate, others cannot. When a person is initiated, it is assumed that he has become a Brahmana. Without being initiated by a proper Brahmana, one cannot be converted into a Brahmana. In other words, unless one is a Brahmana, he cannot make another a Brahmana. A Grahastha Brahmana partaking of the Varnashrama Dharma injunction can secure various types of paraphernalia to worship Lord Vishnu through his honest labor. Actually, people beg to be initiated by these householder Brahmanas just to become successful in their Varnashrama institution or to become free from the material desires. It is therefore necessary for a spiritual master in the Grahastha Ashrama to be a strict Vaishnava. A spiritual master from the Sannyasa order has very little opportunity to perform Archana, deity worship. But when one accepts a spiritual master from the transcendental sannyasis, that principle of deity worship is not at all neglected. To implement this conclusion, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave up his opinion in the verse Kiba Vipra Kiba Nyasi, etc. This indicates that the Lord understood the weakness of the society in its maintaining that only a Grahastha Brahmana should be a spiritual master. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu indicated that it does not matter whether a spiritual master is a Grahastha householder, a sannyasi or even a Shudra. A spiritual master simply must be conversant in the essence of the Shastra. He must understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only then can one become a spiritual master. Diksha actually means initiating a disciple with transcendental knowledge by which he becomes freed from the material contamination. Prabhupada in one line told what is Diksha. What is Diksha? Diksha actually means initiating a disciple with transcendental knowledge by which he becomes freed from the material contamination. Hare Krishna. Remunate Khaila Gopinatha Darshana. Tanda Rupa Dekina Haila Vihvala Mana. Going into South India, Śrī Mādhavendra Purī visited Remuna, where Gopinath is situated. Upon seeing the beauty of the deity, Madhavendra Puri was overwhelmed. Now from Gopala to Gopinath. Nitya Gita Kari Jaga Mohane Vasila. Kya kya bhoga lage Brahmane puchila. In the corridor of the temple, from which people generally viewed the deity, Madhavendra Puri chanted and danced, and then he sat down there and asked a Brahmana what kinds of foodstuffs they offered to this deity. See, this is the beauty of a sincere devotee. That wherever he goes, he says, can I do this at my temple? Can I do this at my satsang? Can I do this more for my deity? So Madhavendra Puri, even though he left Govardhan, Gopala deity, but he was so much conscious of Gopala that when he came to Gopinatha, he saw Gopinatha is so happy. A deity is happy means he is being served properly. So then he immediately asked the Brahmana, hey, what are you making him eat? That he is so happy, he is looking so happy. Devotees actually, pure devotees, they can see the consciousness and the happiness in the deity also. And they can immediately say, the deity is not happy at your place. Right? Of course, many times they don't tell that because we will be disappointed when they come to our houses. But you can see in their eyes when they are happy with the deity. They tell, okay, deities are very happy. I have seen some devotee come and telling, actually devotees are very happy. Deities are very happy. But some devotees did not tell anything. Then I was like, please tell what exactly is happening, because then only we will know. So here, Madhavendra Puri was so eager to know how to serve Gopalji by learning how they are serving Gopinatha. Sevara Sausthava Dekhi Anandita Mane. Uttama Bhoge Lage Etha Bhuji Anumane. From the excellence of the arrangements, Madhavendra Puri understood by deduction that only the best food was offered. Something special is being offered here. Yache iha bhogya lage sakala ei puchiba. Teche bhiyane bhoga gopale lagaiba. Madhavendra Puri thought, I shall inquire from the priest what foods are offered to Gopinatha, so that by making arrangements in our kitchen, we can offer similar foods to Shri Gopala. Hare Krishna. Ei lagi puchi lena brahmanera sthane. Brahmana kahila sabha bhoga vivarane. When the Brahmana priest was questioned about this matter, he explained in detail what kinds of foods were offered to the deity of Gopinatha. Right? Secret is being offered here. Sandhyayaya bhoga lage kshira amrita kheli nama. Dwadashamrita bare bhari amrita samana. The Brahmana priest said, in the evening, the deity is offered sweet rice in 12 earthen pots. Because the taste is as good as nectar, amrita, it is named Amrita Keli. See, that is the secret. Krishna is happy means something is having extraordinary there. Right? In the evening, in 12 pots, it is offered, he told the secret. Gopinathera Kshira Bali Prasiddha Nama Yara. Prithivite Aicha Bhoga Kahan Nahi Ara. This sweet rice is celebrated throughout the world as Gopinatha Kshira. It is not offered anywhere else in the world. Look at enthusiasm of that devotee. Right? He is making that kheer in one corner in one temple called Gopinath Mandir, and he is telling the whole world you can't get it anywhere. That actually, Prabhu, that is coming from his heart. It's not like show off. He's so happy giving that every day to Gopinatha, and because of happiness he's accepting it. He na kale sei bhoga ठाकुरे लागीला सोनीपुरी गोसाणी किछु मने विचारीला. While Madhavendra Puri was talking with the Brahmana priest, the sweet rice was placed before the deity as an offering. Hearing this, Madhavendra Puri thought as follows. So while he was talking in the evening time, the 12 pots are coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All of them are going. And while he's talking, he's seeing the kheer, that Amrita keli being offered. And Madhavendra Puri started thinking. What was thinking? Ayachita kshira prasada alpa yadi pai. Swada jani taiche kshira gopale lagai. If without my asking, look at his feeling. See, if without my asking, a little sweet is given to me, I can then taste it and make a similar preparation to offer my Lord Gopala. Because he never has the habit of asking, even for himself. If without me asking, if they give something, I can taste it. And make something for Gopala. But look at the deep ecstatic feeling now, right? E ichhaya lajja pana Vishnu smarna kaila. Hena kale bhoga sari arati bhajila. Madhavendra Puri became greatly ashamed when he desired to taste the sweet rice. And he immediately began to think of Lord Vishnu. While he was thus thinking of Lord Vishnu, the offering was completed and the Aarti ceremony began. Right? Now you will hear what he was thinking. Aarati dekhiya puri khaila namaskar. Bahire aila khare kichu na khaila ara. Kahila ara. After the Aarti was finished, Madhavendra Puri offered his obeisances to the deity and left the temple. He did not say anything more to anyone. Right? Why did he do that? Because he felt what was being offered to the God, he felt like eating it. But actually he didn't do anything wrong. He felt like eating it so he can give it to Gopalji. Right? And in future verses, Prabhupada is going to heavily tell how important it is that when we have made something for Krishna, nobody should see it. And we also should not see it. It's a great aparadha. Why? Because you are basically bringing back the same lust into your life. It is to be offered to God and then you are supposed to have it. And that is the reason when you make something in the house or anywhere in the center or temple, you are supposed to cover it, properly cover it, and the curtain has to be completely kept, and then the bhoga has to be offered. Even if you look at that bhoga and desire one feeling that oh, I think this is very nice, when will I get it? Khatam. That means it is not worthy to be offered to Krishna anymore. Very, very important. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, in his house, he just went picked up a mango when he was barely 5 years old. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur smilingly, nicely came and told, hey, Bimal Prasad, why are you eating this? You should not eat this, not yet offered to Krishna. That's all he told. And the immediate decision, what was the decision? I will never eat mango in my life because I've done a big aparadha. And even when Bhaktisiddhanta Goswami Maharaj was, aged, some disciple would bring him, not knowing, he would bring him some mango. He would tell, I am a sinful person, I cannot honor mango for my life. Look at the conscious, and that he was not trying to enact, he actually felt like that. And at what age he committed that sin? Since he thought that is sin, barely as a child, like a small child like him. He just took that and he decided, my God, I am not going to have. for the rest of the life. That is the consciousness of an Acharya. And here he is correcting himself, Madhavendra Puri, that what did I do? Krishna, that kheer is supposed to be eaten by Gopinath, and I am thinking that the kheer actually should come to me. And actually, did he want to taste for his enjoyment? No. But still, he was so particular about details. Prabhuji, as you advance in spiritual life, the details become more important. That is actually a proof that you are advancing in spiritual life. Small little things also, you will see Krishna in it, and you will become fearful. You will become very, very cautioned. That, oh my God, I shouldn't do this. Oh, I think I displeased some devotee. That is the reason all this is, my chanting is not good. You will start investigating little things in your consciousness, that what exactly I did wrong. Right? Now here, Madhavendra Puri. Ayachita vritti puri virakta udasa. Ayachita paila khana nahe upavasa. Madhavendra Puri avoided begging. He was completely unattached and indifferent to material things. If without his begging, someone offered him some food, he would eat. Otherwise, he would fast. That is the situation. Right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. This is a Paramahamsa stage. We discussed about this, so I'll go forward. It's called Ajagara Vritti. Ajagara Vritti. Ajagara Vritti is, I will not even go anywhere. That is in even next level. I will stay this place. If somebody brings me something, I'll eat. Otherwise, I'll not eat that also. This chapter is there in 7th canto. When Prahlad Maharaj meets a person called Python man. So his Python is like that, right? Python doesn't go around and find its feed. It is sitting on a branch and it will wait for its prey to come there, in that location. Then only it will catch. Right? Premamrite tripa kshuda trishna nahi badhe. Shira icha hailata hai mane aparadhe. A Paramahamsa like Madhavendra Puri is always satisfied in the loving service of the Lord. Material hunger and thirst cannot impede his activities. When he desired to taste a sweet rice offered to the deity, he considered that he had committed an offense for desiring to eat what was being offered to the deity. Krishna. And it was not like a little bit he was thinking guilty. He actually felt he has done a big aparadh. He left that place. And he felt something grave he has done. Right? So here is where Prabhupada is saying, it is advised that food being offered to the deity be covered when they take it from the kitchen to the deity room. We discussed most of it already. We'll stop it here. 125. Right? So next week we'll continue from here. The nectarian part is just across the corner. When Kshira Chora is going to do that Chora. Right? Gopinath is going to do that stealing pastime. Right? So please behold yourself and be available to hear and taste this beautiful saga that's going to happen, where the exchange between Gopala and Madhavendra Puri we already witnessed, but Gopinatha and Madhavendra Puri will happen. Then after that, Jagannatha and Madhavendra Puri will happen. Then again, Gopinatha and Madhavendra Puri will happen, and finally Gopal and Madhavendra Puri will happen. This whole chapter, by the time it goes, now the ecstasy is only going to get multiplied. How he is going to, and there are so many lessons about how to handle criticism, how to handle praise. There are so many lessons now. Actually, I made some notes, but I could not discuss today because we've not gone till there. We'll learn so many things in devotional life from Sripad Madhavendra Puri of how to handle anything that comes in our life, in the form of praise also, in the form of criticism also, right? In the form of danger also, in the form of anger also. Anything that comes, how to keep Krishna in the center and go forward. Sripad Madhavendra Puri ki jai, Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Nitai Gaura Hari Parimanand. So anybody wants to say anything? How are you all feeling about this way of reading? You're all enjoying?